Good day, everyone. My name is Sheen Obradas, and together with Miss Shella Fabre, both of us decided to explain the types of assessment of learning, which is the alternative assessment and the traditional assessment. Now, what is the alternative assessment, or also called as the authentic assessment, the performance assessment, or the direct assessment? Well, this kind of assessment is a method of evaluation that measures a student's level of proficiency in a subject as opposed to the student's level of knowledge, and it is any classroom assessment that practiced and to focus on continuous individual students' progress through the design of more authentic tasks. Additionally, this alternative assessment is time intensive because it is a time consuming assessment method since the teacher has to pay specific attention to every student in order to provide an almost precise evaluation of the student's ability. Now, proceed to the traditional assessment, and it is often means the formal test that checks students' ability to recollect and reproduce the content studied during a course, and that was according to Kumbi and others in the year 2012. And these are usually standardized time tests that are applied to all learners in the same conditions. However, these are not the only characteristics of traditional assessment because there are other typical features that have been underlying our practice and that might have been consolidated as the right way to assess learners. The traditional tests are usually focused on the learners giving the expected correct answers so that there is a little room for doubt or discussions. And in the sense, they are easy to correct and the results are highly reliable. And to begin with, the traditional assessment strategies are it is more objective, reliable, and valid because um, it is a standardized test and other types of multiple choice test. So, what does it mean when an assessment is valid? No, an assessment validity refers to the extent that the test measure what is supposed to measure. And how do you ensure an assessment is valid, or what are some ways to improve validity? To make sure your goals and objectives are clearly defined and operationalized, and to match your assessment measure to your goals and objectives. And that is very important that as a teacher you have to really find some assessment that measures your goals and objectives in order for you to get your students involve or have the students to look over the assessment for troublesome wording or other difficulties. Now let's proceed on the reliability. No, reliable. So reliability refers to the extent to which an assessment method or the instrument measures consistently the performance of the student. Assessment are usually expected to produce comparable outcomes with consistent standards over time and between different learners and examiners. Now, practical. So, what is practicality of assessment? So practicality in assessment means that the test is easy to design, easy to administer, and easy to score. That no matter how valid or reliable a test is, it has to be practical to make and to take this means that first, it is economical to deliver. Second, it is not excessively expensive. And then the third is the layout should be easy to follow and understand. Fourth one, it stays within appropriate time constraints. And the fifth rather, it is a relatively easy to administer. And the final one, its correct evaluation procedure is specific and time efficient. That's all for the alternative assessment and the traditional assessment. I hope you guys understand the definition and all of the branches within this two assessment. Thank you so much and have a good day to all.